You are looking live at Fatality Field in the Grand Canyon state of Arizona tonight. The SFL Week 4 rolls on as the Denver Nightwings take on the Arizona Scorpions. This is the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. My name is Josh Zirkle, bringing you play-by-play for tonight's game. And joining me in the booth is my best friend for the next 2 hours, Cameron Duty. So Cameron with a K. Arizona is looking for their third straight win tonight. What do the Scorps need to do to get past Denver here at home?
Hey, good to be with you, my friend, and good evening, everybody. Listen, you're exactly right. You talk about Arizona and what they need to do. If they can win tonight, it will be their first victory over an opponent over 500. I think that's important to point out because this is a statement game for them. How do you win? You control the clock, in my opinion, with your ground game. You know, you've got DJ Moses in the backfield and just a great plethora of players to help complement this offense. Ashley Jackson, this should fit really well in her lane. If they can run the ball, that will open up passing lanes for her, And so it's just going to be, I think it's going to be a big key to today's game. Now, how will Denver react to that? We'll see. Should be a lot of fun.
You mentioned Ashley Jackson, the wonderful Arizona quarterback, sitting on 247 career touchdown passes, has a chance to hit the milestone tonight. And we are underway here in Arizona. Denver will start with the football. And the Nightwings will get this starting out on the 29-yard line. Barker on the return.
And that's going to bring out, of course, Gene Struthers coming into today's game, doing a really good job so far this year and kind of spreading the ball out, 61% completion percentage. And, of course, in the backfield, Bailey O'Shaughnessy. Speaking of halfbacks, just as we mentioned for Arizona, you could expect the same for them.
Prosit in the backfield. I believe that's Ace Ketchum in there with him as well. No, it's R.E. Mills. O'Shaughnessy gets the call. It's going to be two up the middle. Let's meet the Nightwings offense. The tight ends, Keith Wheeler and Chris Alther. We're receiving core, Dalton Barker, Logan Keel, Jeremy Mosley, and Dylan Lewis. R.E. Mills is your fullback. Ace Ketchum and Bailey O'Shaughnessy, your halfbacks. And under center in his third SFL season is Gene Struthers here on 2nd and 8. Handoff again, going to Mills this time. Mills has a blocker out to the 40, and that's going to be a fresh set of downs for the Nightwings who get a little momentum here on their opening drive.
Yeah, good momentum indeed. And again, the big man like R.E. Mills, take a look at the stats. They're 6'3", 230 pounds, and pure muscle. And that's exactly kind of that old school ground and pound type mentality, something that this team is very good at, of course. And they've got two very capable backs in the backfield right now.
Mills in his 8th SFL season, as good a north-south runner as any halfback in the SFL. Struthers will drop back here on first down. Over the middle, that is caught. Jeremy Mosley has his first catch of the game, and Denver pumping it down the field.
I got to say, I like the tempo. I like how they're coming out. Of course, 2 plays only, but you've already got a pass-run mix, and that could be a key right there. Of course, not getting too reliant on one over the other, and that's just going to allow, the plays like that, your receivers are going to get out front and open. I like it so far. I like the tempo.
Denver wearing their home whites, their road whites, gradienting, if that's a verb, into blue. Arizona, their Desert Storm specials here at home on Fatality Field. First place in the Central Division on the line, and Struthers will drop back to pass. Over the middle, another catch. That's Dalton Barker this time. Spearheaded the kick return, and now has his first catch of the game.
Yeah, I love that route that he ran right there. Unfortunately, we'll get to take a look at it one more time. Watch him just cut up the middle there. And that right there, that little cushion, just enough room for Struthers to find the receiver. And, they drop back a little bit thinking that he may go a little deeper. Instead, he found the route there closest to their line of scrimmage. But it paid off in big dividends for them.
Eddie Gage on the tackle as the Nightwings have a fresh set of downs in field goal range. Short drop for Struthers. Looking to scramble now. Finds a receiver. That's Mosley again. Mosley has his second catch of the drive. That's 2nd and 5.
And honestly, probably one of the lowest yardage plays thus far for Denver. So good call to Eddie Gage there for stopping that from going any farther than it did.
Offset eye for Denver. Mills gets a call. Around the right side, it'll be 3rd and 3. Let's meet the Scorpions defense. On the front, Dede Sachs, Alex Constantine, Hunter Norwood, and David Tilley. The linebacking core, Sean Moore, J.R. Lawless, and Nathaniel Diggs. And in the secondary, Zachary Hamburger, Terrell Davis, Parker Thomas, the Hurricane, Everett Garrison, Iverson Gamble, and of course, the Hall of Famer in his 20th SFL season, Eddie Gage. Up the middle, again, the run on 3rd down, no good. Interesting call there, Cameron.
Interesting call indeed. Kind of surprised they didn't go to the air. Instead, they tried to stay on the ground. And it was the linebacker, Sean Moore, number 95, who came in and said, we'll have none of that. And now that relegates them to a field goal attempt.
It was Charles Stackhouse, the backup fullback, getting the call there. But instead, it's Neil Rackers with the kick. And Denver's on the board first. It's 3-0. If you're new to the Simulation Football League, welcome. The SFL is football for everyone. Get off the sideline and start your player today by joining our Discord server at simulationfl.net. Join the community, begin your career, or just meet the stars of the SFL on and off the field. It's never too late to get involved. And we're going to get our first look at the Arizona Scorpions offense as Denver kicks it away. And returned inside the 10-yard line. They bring it out, and that will be dropped down at the 34. Donnie Hands getting nice field position for the Scorps to start.
Well, that's a name that we expect to call quite a bit. Both him and James, they are very lethal in this Arizona lineup. Not only, of course, with returning, but just great wide receivers. So expect more of the same from them today. I think we'll see them in action quite a bit.
Ashley Jackson under center in her 11th SFL season, sitting on 247 career touchdown passes. Can she hit 250 tonight? 3 wide receivers on the field to help with the task. She will throw on 1st down to the left side. And looking for a deeper ball and looking for Will Todd, and that's incomplete. 2nd down. Let's meet the Scorpions offense. On the offensive line, Sean Crooked, EJ DQ, Patrick Kelly, Igor Barbatov, and Gene Benazzi. The tight ends, Will Todd and Adam Grabowski. The receiving core, Donnie Hands, James Hands, Mike Churchill, and TJ Punk. Cooper Allen and Jay Ballmer are your fullbacks. Bismarck Wright, DJ Moses in his 10th SFL season are your halfbacks. Jackson will throw again on 2nd down. Going back to that left corner, and that is incomplete over the head of James Hands, but a flag on the play.
Yeah, it looks like there's a little bit of contact there between the two, and that's exactly what we're going to see. You hear the crowd reaction to pass interference there, and we'll take a look at the replay. I'm sure we'll see a little bit of contact.
First.
Yeah,
a little ticky-tack.
I don't know. It was that was a pretty strict call, wouldn't you say?
Interesting to set the tone for that this early in the game. And Arizona gets their first down of the game via penalty. Out close to midfield now. Opening drive for the Scorpions. On the draw, up the middle, DJ Moses with all kinds of daylight. And he gets the Scorpions into plus territory.
I mentioned, when we were talking in the intro, just how lethal this guy can be, and there's a very good example of it. He's got great speed. Give him just enough to squeeze his frame through there, and he's very dangerous. Again, coming into this game, 177 yards on 45 carries, and looking to add to that tonight.
Power eye in the backfield for Arizona. Trips to Jackson's right. The handoff, ball's on the ground! And it is scooped up and returned at Sean Crooked, the tackle, I think, that made that recovery. 2nd down.
Yeah, scooped up by the big man, 6'4", 315 pounds. And look at the awareness right here. He just happened to see that ball go flying and did a great job to get on it and cover. And, boy, they dodged a big one right there.
I believe that was Bismarck Wright that put the ball on the ground. Little setback there as Arizona is on the cusp of field goal range. Here at 2nd and long. Single back in the backfield. Jackson, 5-step drop, now scrambling. Throw on another one. And she has been throwing that intermediate to deep ball to the left side. 3 times on this drive now. 3rd and 9.
Yeah, and it's sailing on her just a little bit. You can tell even, they got the fortunate penalty there for the interference. That gave them that fresh set of downs. But even at that point, it hasn't really been catchable, obviously trying to find her rhythm here in this game.
Jackson under center for 3rd and 9. 5 wide receivers. They need to get to the 28. 6 DBs on the field for Denver. 4-man rush. Jackson scrambling. Dropping back farther. Uncorks it. And looking deep again. This time for TJ Punk. And that is incomplete. No flag that time. That looked more like PI than what we saw earlier, Cameron, in my view.
Yep, I agree. That's exactly what I was thinking. I'm surprised to not see a flag that time. It's kind of interesting how that worked out. But also, just to make mention of it, I'm surprised they didn't go to the ground more than what they did on that series. I thought that they might would when they got to this side of the field.
Charles McLongfellow, the punter for Arizona, will try to pin Denver deep. And boots it right at midfield, and this is a little wanting as it's going to roll out of bounds just in front of the 15, actually stop short of the sideline. And that is where Denver will take over. We mentioned the Desert Storm uniforms worn by the Arizona Scorpions. That in tribute, of course, to the daughter of team owner Eddie Gage, who has re-enlisted to serve our country in the United States Army. We thank her for her service.
Yes.
And we celebrate her re-enlistment along with Eddie and the Scorpions tonight. Struthers will throw on 1st down over the middle. That is caught to the numbers on the left side. The middle of the numbers, I suppose. Jeremy Mosley, 1st down.
Yeah, that was a really nice looking catch right there. I really liked the play design. I thought that was a quick, what was it, like a 3-step drop or so right there, and then just kind of slung that one there. Good timing by quarterback and receiver. You can tell that they have worked on that one in practice.
Struthers with a really nice command of the football here on the road in the early goings. Both of these teams sitting at 2-1 on this very young SFL season 22. Struthers again, this time at the hash mark, and that is a great one-handed catch. Pulling out all the stops. Logan Keel, how do you do, sir?
That's what makes him an all-star in this league, as he's had a previous visit to the all-star game. And it's because of plays like that. Not only does he run a good route, runs right by the coverage, but then take a look at this reception. Oh, it's beautiful. One-handed makes it look easy. And, again, just a sure-handed receiver for these guys. I love this tempo that they're coming out with, firing on all cylinders this evening.
A perfect ball by Struthers right in between the defenders in that zone defense. As once again, Denver in plus territory for the 2nd time in as many drives tonight. Mosley will go in motion to the top of your screen. Offset eye in the backfield. Struthers over the middle again, and that is nearly picked off. In and out of the hands of Iverson Gamble. My goodness, that was close.
Yeah, for as many good throws as Struthers has certainly had in this game thus far, that one was scary, dangerous. As a matter of fact, that was one of those that just sailed on the quarterback. We've seen Ashley Jackson with a few, and then Gene that time as well. Lucky that one wasn't a turnover.
Remarkable how you sing the praises of a particular player, and then something like that happens. Struthers will hand off here. Buried in the backfield, though, is O'Shaughnessy, Bailey O'Shaughnessy. Have not seen much out of him tonight, although that's more by circumstance than anything O'Shaughnessy's had to do. Now a big 3rd and long, Cameron.
Yeah, it's so interesting right here. This side of the field, Arizona begins to stiffen, and we've seen it thus far. Can they get off the field again?
Trips to Struthers left. Struthers has time. And Keel making a big catch inside the 30 to keep the drive alive for Denver.
Yeah, that was just a nice play and exactly what the doctor ordered. I love the formation there lining up on the far side with the, 3 receivers there in the area. And then at that point, it's just kind of like a crapshoot running those 3 quick routes. And Struthers had an opportunity to pick any one of those receivers that he wanted. He just so happened to go to Keel and a great reception.
Struthers has hit 3 different receivers on this drive. Mills in the backfield by his lonesome. Mills gets the call up the middle. Breaks first contact, but then is brought down at the 25. Denver showing a nice mix of run and pass here so far.
Yeah, they really are doing a nice job, as you said, of mixing, not being too reliant on either. We talked about that just a few minutes ago, and it's playing out in front of us just how effective it can be when it's done right.
5 runs to 7 pass attempts, make it 6 runs. And this time, the run not as successful, and a 3rd and long coming up here. That's Nathaniel Diggs on the stop.
It's really interesting. We're talking about the passing yards. Coming into today's game, 21st in the league, actually, is Denver with 176 averaging right now. The league average is 216, so they've got room to grow in that.
Bunch set, top of your screen. Struthers goes down. Arizona getting a big-time sack, and that is Dede Sacks.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, that is just a complete breakdown of your offensive line. Of course, let's look at this right here. Beating the offensive lineman, that's Brooks, that he totally maneuvered around, and just not even an opportunity for Struthers to look up and try to get rid of that football. Good thing, too, that he just held on to it. I mean, that was a mighty hit.
And so what would have been a long field goal now turns into a punt on 4th and 12. As Toby Gowan is going to stand somewhere at the Arizona 40, the 43 specifically, and punt this away. It'll drop inside the 5 and roll into the end zone for the touchback.
Again, let's give a call to this Arizona defense because, again, they get to this side of the field and they completely stiffen, and Denver just has a hard time finishing off a drive. You've seen them come out with the field goal earlier. They got the 3 points on the board, but this time the defense stood up and knocked them out of field goal range.
Dede Sacks literally taking points off the board there. Jackson hands off on the draw to Moses, and Moses will get 3 yards.
I think at the moment what we're witnessing is simply this Arizona defense, standing up and doing a great job while the offense, kind of finds its footing. We've seen them try a couple different things in this game thus far as we head to the end of the first here. Just nothing doing as of yet.
I believe that's Jay Ballmer and Bismarck Wright in the backfield. Wright gets the call. We're on the left side. Ballmer misses the block, and it's barely a gain of a yard as Stephon Ford shuts it down to make it 3rd and long.
Yeah, a great job by Stephon Forge, and really a good job for the majority of this game thus far. I know we're early, but this defensive line has been getting pretty good penetration, really, except for a run or two, has been able to contain these halfbacks.
Big 3rd and 6 now for Arizona. Empty backfield. Jackson with time. Scrambling. Fires. Over the middle. That is caught. TJ Punk paying the price over the middle.
Well, that's what you love to see. A quarterback like Ashley Jackson back against the wall. First off, offensive line, great job with the protection. And then take a look, knowing that they need a big play to keep this drive alive. And that's just when it's in the hands of your veteran quarterback, expecting him to make a big play, and then finding Punk down the middle. That was a thing of beauty.
Jackson approaching midfield now. Twins to her left, top of your screen. Jackson hands off. That goes for 4 yards. That's Jay Ballmer getting some carries. You've seen that across the league, the trend of expanding the backfield to the ball carrying duties, that is, to not only HB1 but HB2 and the fullback as well.
Yeah, it's been a great carousel so far, if you want to call it that, around the league of great halfbacks, multiple halfbacks getting carries. It's worked out really well in a lot of instances.
Jackson, that's caught. And another first down. TJ Punk putting it on the line with a second high-risk catch of the drive.
Yeah, he went to the top rope there, if you will, and Nick Kindler came down with the spear. Take a look at that.
That was Nick Kindler putting the smack down on TJ Punk, but Punk held on to the ball. And now plus territory, approaching field goal range again. This time for the opposite team. Moses, wearing those distinct orange sleeves, will get another few yards to keep it on schedule, and that will be the end of the first quarter. Denver with an early lead, but Arizona threatening. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on YouTube. this magnificent picture. Downtown Phoenix, brought to you by Dags Drone Works. DagsDroneWorks.com. I'm sorry, I couldn't find the read, Cam. I totally screwed that up. There it is. Aerial coverage of today's game provided by Dags Drone Works. Aerial photography and videography services for real estate, marketing, events, funerals, like the one I'm having for myself right now. Learn more at DagsDroneWorks.com. Apologies to Mike Dags. I had the wrong tab open, brother. It happens. Let's hope Ashley Jackson has the right tab open here on 3rd and 1. Got some meat in the backfield. Jay Ballmer, Bismarck Wright in the power eye. Wright will get the call. Wright, that is going to be close, but he's got it. And the drive stays alive for the Scorpions.
Well, that was literally all Bismarck Wright at that moment. Just the will to get the extra yardage that was needed, because initially Bismarck was stopped behind the line, but he just never quit trying to churn and pound the ground there. It was great.
Wright, who fumbled in the first quarter, looking to atone, and does to an extent there. Jackson throwing toward the end zone.
Oh,
that is knocked away. I count 5 white jerseys near the receiver there. Jeff Melanishin among those, breaking up the pass.
Oh, it was risky. That was a risky throw. Of course, Jackson having complete confidence in the receiver to reel that in. But again, you always hold your breath just a little bit longer when you see a pass like that with the coverage that was in that area.
Got some team stats there for you. Denver leading in the average yards per play, but Arizona looking to correct that here in the end of the first half. Jackson throw to the end zone. That's caught. Touchdown. Mike Churchill makes it 248 for Ashley Jackson.
That is the thing about this team. We have mentioned so many players on this Arizona Scorpions offense that are dangerous and just, great targets for Ashley Jackson. We mentioned the Hands brothers now. We mentioned TJ Punk, and then there you see it with Mike Churchill. And what a great addition to this team in his first season. Not only was that a great route, but that was a great job of reeling that one in and a great job of finishing this drive.
Ashley Jackson. Career touchdown pass number 248 on a drive that went 10 plays, 81 yards. Culminating in that 25-yard touchdown catch by Mike Churchill. You liking the game so far? Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The SFL produces over 400 events a year. No one else gives you more football. Don't miss a minute of SFL or our minor league SFL-M action. And help the channel grow through your support, and grow we have, as we are on the road to 1 million YouTube subscribers. As that ball is going to be down to the end zone by Dylan Lewis. Denver gets it at the 20.
So this is going to be really interesting right here, Josh, because we're going to see Denver playing from behind, which we've not yet seen in today's game. They've done a pretty good job of controlling time of possession even and the yardage, but now they're behind. So it's going to be interesting to see how they come out here.
Struthers on the draw to O'Shaughnessy. O'Shaughnessy, no gain. Shut down instantly by Hunter Norwood. 2nd and 10. And Cameron, to that point, they've been pretty aggressive in terms of how they've balanced their passing attack. I'm curious to see if Struthers, number one, is able to turn up the volume, and number two, how exactly he plans to do that as they go 3 wide here on 2nd down. O'Shaughnessy, again, a little more lucrative this time, gets to the 26. It'll be 3rd and 4.
Yeah, a good point. And you talk about the ground game here for them. O'Shaughnessy, as we said, the success of O'Shaughnessy and some of the other halfbacks for Denver depends on just how much steam that really Gene Struthers is going to have to pour on this defense and how much he's going to have to take over.
Pivotal 3rd down for Denver. Struthers has time going over the middle. And that is caught all by himself is Logan Keel on the logo. And Denver keeps it moving here late in the first half.
Well, when it's 3rd down and you need a big play, who you're going to look for, who you going to call. Right now it's Logan Keel. And again, you see the great chemistry that the quarterback and wide receiver has at that moment. They really developed a great relationship over the years, the 3 years Struthers has been here. And they're in such sync right now. It's a thing of beauty to watch.
2 tight ends to Struthers right, Two right outs to his left. R.E. Mills in the backfield. Mills will get the call. Met at the line of scrimmage. And down he goes. That is Nathaniel Diggs, the linebacker. Diggs in his 5th SFL season, 2nd and 10.
Well, I'm really interested to see, again, they've crossed midfield. This is where Arizona always tends to really stop them. We've seen that happen earlier in this game. Denver really needs to get it in the end zone here. I think this is critical for their success.
Mosley in motion to the top of your screen. Mills and O'Shaughnessy in the backfield. 4-man rush. Struthers has time. Over the middle, that is deflected. Looking for Keith Wheeler that time. First time we called Wheeler's name tonight, the second-year tight end. And now a long third down for the Night Wings.
Yeah, this is what's so interesting about this. As we said, they get past the midfield stripe, and they just start unloading. I mean, throwing deep balls, not really working the middle of the field either, trying to go for the home run. I don't know that you need to do that just yet.
In 3 drives, Denver's been in plus territory all 3 times. Would only come away with 3 points. Struthers again, flag on the play this time. As Struthers look to unleash the dragon. It looks like it's going to be DPI. And Denver will get the benefit of that call.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the replay on this one. We've had a couple of PIs already, and one that we thought should have been. We'll see. That was close. It was, but it looked like maybe a little bit of interference there before the ball got to the receiver.
Eddie Gage with the exuberant defensive coverage. Slightly outside the scope of the SFL rules. And now Denver. They've got 3 points on the board if they can maintain the possession of the football. That's Chris Arthur in motion to the top of your screen. Here comes the blitz. Struthers unloads, finds Keel down at the 15. It'll be 2nd and 4, and you can feel the tension here at Fatality Field starting to ramp up as Denver looks to retake the lead.
Yeah, they certainly do. And on top of that, as we said, this is such a critical drive for Denver to show that they can get it into the end zone, that they don't have to settle for field goal attempts. They really need to punch this through.
Mills on the carry. Mills has the first down to the 10. And they're actually going to say he was just short of the 10. They're going to call that 1st and 10 and not 1st and goal. And you see the ball spotted right there just outside the 11-yard line.
Yeah, believe it or not, that could be important if it comes down to one of those, 4th and a foot situations.
It may very well be. Twin tight ends to Struthers left. 1-step drop on the out route. Mosley down at the 6. Nice little West Coast offense there. And Struthers makes it 2nd and 4 with Mosley.
Yeah, I really liked that play because I thought that was just, they weren't going for the home run, as we said, just try to be methodical here. Positive yardage, and that's what they did. 6 nice yards on 1st down.
Great graphic there. Struthers' last 10 pass attempts, only 2 incompletions on the game for Struthers so far. There's a handoff to O'Shaughnessy, getting skinny, and has the first down. It's going to be 1st and goal. And as you said, Cameron, they've got 3 chances here, maybe 4, to punch it in the end zone.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Obviously, with this ground game, you expect them to rely heavily on the run. I expect to see it here at least a time or two. They're in that formation at the moment.
Mosley in motion again. Mills in the backfield. And O'Shaughnessy gets a call. O'Shaughnessy is in! Denver finds the end zone for the first time tonight.
I sometimes say it often, but it really comes down to the fact that you can know that a particular play is coming, but sometimes you just have to be able to stop it. In this case, Arizona knew that they were going to go to O'Shaughnessy in this particular setup, at this particular part of the field right here at the goal line, knocking on the door. But again, even though they knew it was coming, they couldn't stop the big man, and a great job of blocking there by the offensive line as well.
And so Denver answers Arizona's 10-play drive with one of their own, an 11-play drive going 55 yards, and Denver takes a 10-7 lead. And Cameron, like many other fans out there, we are mourning the passing of legendary former pro football player turned actor extraordinaire Carl Weathers.
Yes.
On behalf of the SFL, I send his deep condolences and heartfelt love and respect to his family. An actor's actor, a man for many generations, a career that spanned not only from the 1970s all the way to the 2020s, from Rocky to The Mandalorian. The guy did it all.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can't say enough about the guy. You know, he had his professional sports career and then went into acting. Of course, we all know him most as Apollo Creed, but even to the point that, if I'm not mistaken, there's actually a Super Bowl commercial that's coming out with him and Gronkowski. Am I right on that? I think I've seen that he filmed something with Gronk to be aired coming up.
Yes, the ball very much in the air in terms of what's going to happen with that particular spot. Ball in the air very much here as well. Ashley Jackson, 5 wideouts. And we'll send one in motion. That is TJ Punk. Play clock down to 4. 4-man rush. Jackson with time. On the short route, that's Donnie Hands. It'll be 2nd and 5 with just over 5 minutes to play in the first half.
Kind of an interesting spot here in this first half. You're heading, down towards 5 minutes left in this game. And if you're Arizona and you get to put together one of those really methodical drives, they had about a 4-minute drive earlier. They could really take this one down and not leave Denver with a lot of time if they play their cards right.
Jackson handing off to Moses. Moses tried to cut that back inside instead of heading for the boundary. And then Stuart Gotts got the better of him on that play.
Yeah, kind of interesting there. Obviously, Moses thought that he could kind of maneuver traffic a little bit better and seen the daylight up ahead, but it closed quickly, bringing up 3rd down now.
Jackson pitching to Moses. Moses has blockers, and once again, trying to get inside, and that is shut down by Luis Quintana. That's going to be 4th and inches. We'll see what Arizona decides to do here.
Play it safe, looks like.
Looks like McLongfellow already on the field for what will be his 2nd punt of the game. And then brought down just outside the 20-yard line, excuse me. And that's where Denver will start their next drive on the 21-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, now, what I was just mentioning was a possibility for Arizona, is now a possibility for Denver here to really control this clock and use the majority of the time remaining in this first half to put together a really nice drive before the half.
5 DBs on the field for Arizona. Struthers under center in the pro set. Handing off, that's O'Shaughnessy. Maybe a face mask there. You saw the head of O'Shaughnessy jerk back just a bit.
Uh-oh.
We got an injured player for Arizona.
Oh, no. That's Eddie Gage.
Eddie Gage, not sure what's going on there.
That don't look good, does it? Not even. It took a while to get him off the field there, Josh.
We will keep you appraised of that injury as we get updates from the Arizona sideline. Back to action on the field, 2nd and 3. Defense tightens up in the middle. Struthers under center. Mills will get the call. And Mills will be just short. And now it's Denver that needs an inch to gain.
Exactly. I'm really interested to see whether it's on this play or not. If they get an opportunity, are they going to try to exploit that area of the field where Eddie Gage would be covering?
And do they run up the middle? They are running the draw. And the draw works as O'Shaughnessy, following the block of R.E. Mills, has a fresh set of downs for the Night Wings.
I thought that was the perfect play call right there in that particular situation.
It certainly fooled me. Less than 3.5 to play in the half. Mills in the game with Ace Ketchum. 1-step drop. That is caught. Mosley is going to get into plus territory. The Night Wings are perfect 4 for 4 on drives getting into the opponent's half of the field.
Yeah, they sure have. Take a look at this. Nice job by Mosley. And honestly, as good as that was, an even better job of Gene Struthers. Really, like you said, the 1-step drop and floating that football in there. I think floating's the most appropriate word for that. Just a great touch on that ball.
And after Arizona's offense going 3 and out, their defense looks like they're going to be on the field for quite a while. Struthers throwing again. That is caught. Mosley again has his team on the cusp of field goal range. Less than 3 minutes to play in the half.
Yeah, this is such an impressive drive, and we've seen a number of impressive drives out of Denver already in this game. And take a look at that cutting inside. Again, I can't stress it enough with Struthers and just what a good job he's doing of not only protecting the football tonight, but just ball placement. I mean, there's not been very many passes in air. You saw the stats earlier, and it's just continuing.
Struthers, 11 of 13, a masterful half out of the third-year quarterback so far tonight. And now in the spread, we'll pitch it to O'Shaughnessy. O'Shaughnessy a couple yards, breaks the tackle out to the 20, and is going to reach the line to gain. An inspired run by Billy O'Shaughnessy.
Yeah, O'Shaughnessy was not going to be denied at all. And like you said, it took the big man coming all the way across the field to finally get him down, because he was, O'Shaughnessy was just shedding tackles there. So, O'Shaughnessy beginning to find his footing as well. He's going to break one of these before long.
Credit the lateral agility of Hunter Norwood for ending that run by O'Shaughnessy. And it looks like we are going to hit the 2-minute warning. Arizona wearing their camo best. Denver on a mission of their own. They lead this game 10-7. You're watching the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube. Here at Fatality Field in Arizona, Josh Zirkle, camera duty on the call. Top Kiefer Ramos Lynn doing stats. Thank you, gentlemen. Camera everybody producing. Bailey O'Shaughnessy spinning and stumbling down at the 20-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 11.
Yeah, just a great job right there by the defense of coming in and honestly making sure that O'Shaughnessy wasn't going to spin out of that tackle, which he is so good at doing.
O'Shaughnessy, 10 carries for 37 yards tonight, has the touchdown from that previous 11-play drive. And they're working on another long drive here, 2nd and 11. Struthers, short drop to the numbers. Oh. That is Logan Keel making a diving catch to make it 3rd and 2, and play number 9 of the drive coming up here.
It was really impressive on Struthers' part that he was able to complete that. Of course, it was a great agile catch by Keel to do so, because Struthers got absolutely obliterated. I think that was D.D. Sachs coming around.
Handoff to O'Shaughnessy at the 10. Has to make a defender miss and cannot. Parker Thomas, the Hurricane, on the scene to make that stop. And we will see Denver use their first timeout as they try and manage what's left of this clock here in the first half.
We'll go with the field goal attempt here.
Oh, they're just going to kick the field goal. If you were going to kick that, Cameron, I thought you'd let a little more time tick off.
Yep, agreed.
Neil Rackers will have it set down for it, and it is good. And after an 11-play drive, now a 10-play drive for Denver. And with 1:01 to play, they lead 13-7.
Kind of surprising, as you mentioned. I had expected if they were going to go with the field goal attempt that they would try to run that down a little bit more than what they did. Of course, a great job there on the kick to extend the lead, but at the same time, that leaves Arizona a very potent offense with a minute to play with.
Arizona went 3 and out on their last drive, and really kind of fortunate for them that they're catching the intermission here after their defense has been on the field for 2 long drives, and they're going to get one more bite at the apple here with 57 seconds remaining. TJ Punk on the return.
Yeah, I think they were a little bit surprised that they would be back out on the field with that much time left. So it's going to be interesting to see how aggressive they choose to be here. I think we will see Ashley Jackson take a few shots. And again, maybe for the safety of just not wanting to go into the half with any kind of turnover or threatening situation. If she don't like anything she sees downfield, they may just hand it off.
And remember, they did have a nice drive where they got downfield where they would have had a long field goal and decided to punt anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So how much yardage do they need to accumulate before they get something here? Moses on the draw, and that might give you some indication of what they intend to do. As soon as we say that, we see Arizona calling timeout.
Yeah, I expect them to at least try to go deep maybe once here, at least maybe towards the sidelines, just to kind of test the water, see if there's any kind of blown coverages. Denver, to their credit, has been very good tonight and kind of swarming the field.
And a good opportunity to do it here in a 2nd and medium. As Todd's going to go in motion here. Up to the top of your screen. And I think Denver only has 4 DBs on the field as Jackson throws to the right side, and that is tipped away. Very nice defense there. That's Xavier Rowe the third. Xavier Rowe, excuse me, in his 2nd season.
Xavier Rowe, 2nd season, coming over from the DC Dragons, and had he not got a hand on that, that was one of those things, as you mentioned, that could have been a big play for Arizona. Maybe could have even took that one all the way to the house for 6.
And now Denver might have a chance to get the ball back here on 3rd and 3, as that stopped the clock with 48 seconds left.
Oh, and they will.
Andre Tucker. It's going to give Denver one more chance to get points before the half.
Oh, and we just talked about how important it was to preserve the football, to not put it in any kind of risky situations where you're going to give a very hungry Denver defense an opportunity to make an interception. And they're simply, and talk about an agile play to come up with that interception. A great job that time by Andre Tucker.
And Ashley Jackson, more questions than answers at this point, as Denver looks to add to their 6-point lead. With 41 seconds remaining, you think a first down here would be all they need to get back into field goal range. They have 2 timeouts. Keel in motion to make it trips to Struthers' left. O'Shaughnessy in the backfield by his lonesome. Struthers throwing, and that is caught. Magnificent one-handed catch by Dylan Lewis, and Denver will burn their 2nd timeout.
That's got to be a candidate for the nice hands catch, you'd have to think. I mean, we've seen a couple of them, but just one-handed in stride right there, Josh. Really having some fun out there, these receivers are. You can tell that their chemistry is really good tonight.
Nice hands catch brought to you by Retroid. Put a Retroid handheld in your hands and play the only video game with your player in it, SFL 4K23. There's a little 4K action right there. Dalton Barker gets another first down, and Denver will use their last timeout. That's a bit of a surprise.
It is, and, a great reception right there by the rookie, Dalton Barker. And, boy, you talk about the swinging of momentum, Josh. I mean, here we were just a couple of seconds ago looking at Arizona maybe just riding into the half. Instead, Denver's knocking on the door. This could change this game exponentially.
Struthers has been magnificent tonight. 14 of 16. You just saw the stat line. Can he find another ball in the end zone there? That is broken up, looking for Dylan Lewis again. With that monster catch earlier, Iverson Gamble says, no, sir. 2nd and goal.
Think about the action that's taken place, Josh, since the 1 minute mark of this half here. I mean, we thought we were, like you said, just go into the half, but it's been a whirlwind of 30 seconds or so.
And with Denver out of timeouts, any completion inbound stored to the end zone might be the end of this half for the Night Wings. Struthers back to throw. 4-man rush. Throw it to the end zone again. Keel, toe touch in, and he's got the touchdown.
That was beautiful. I loved that. I mean, that was just a work of art right there. As a football fan, you love to see the toe taps. And, again, a great route, breaking on the coverage. And then look at that, just making sure to toe the line, if you will. And what an incredible series for Denver. You get the interception, and then Struthers, let's give him a call as well. A great job of throwing passes that really only his receiver could get to. He didn't really put him in any danger.
Absolutely. Rackers with the extra point, and it is 20-7. And Denver has something to smile about as they head into intermission. But before that, let's kick it off one more time and give Arizona the rest of these 23 seconds.
We still got 23 seconds. Anything could happen.
You laugh as you say that, but up to the 20, the 30, and down at the 32. And we've got a flag, and that might be significant.
Uh-huh. You got him on a clip, I believe.
That's going to be a personal foul in Arizona. And that will drag the ball all the way back to the 18-yard line. And you've got to think we see a knee or maybe just a run here.
Yeah, I would.
Put this half on ice.
Yeah, just head into the half. Down 2 scores right now. Just see if you could regroup and come out a little bit better in the third quarter. That's what I would do anyway.
Jackson will come out in a one-back set, and they are going to throw it. And now you have 16 seconds left, and we're right back where we started here, Cameron.
Yeah, stopping the clock. Again, going to the air. It's a big surprise for me, the management at the moment choosing to keep this, really kind of extend this first half.
I believe that's Punk in motion to the top of your screen. Jackson will hand off to Moses. And that likely will get the clock to 000 as we end the first half, Cameron.
Yeah, that's more of what we expected right there. And again, I think that's a good call. You know, this game not over by a long shot. Just try to regroup and come out with a better game plan if you're Arizona for the second half.
Denver looking to walk out of Fatality Field with a win, and they're halfway to doing so. They lead 20-7. Cameron Duty, your thoughts on the first half?
You know, really, as we said, let's talk about Gene Struthers. I think that the play so far of him, I think that's the most significant part of this first half. I have to think that the consistency, 15 of 18, 220 yards, that's the biggest point. Kind of interesting because we talked about the ground game and how important it would be, but the air game has been very important in this game as well. I think if you're Arizona, you see Ashley Jackson struggling a little bit, 4 of 11. It's going to take this Arizona defense, I think, to step up and rattle Gene Struthers and really kind of get him off his stride. He's connecting so well with all of the wide receivers at the moment. You look at Kill stats. That defense is going to have to get pressure, penetration, and then from there maybe you start to build a comeback. But I think it starts on finally slowing down this Nightwing offense.
And I think for Arizona, you got to give your defense a chance to rest as well.
Yeah.
And giving the ball to DJ Moses and Jay Ballmer, averaging 4.8 and 4.0 yards per carry respectively, might be a good way to do that. Jackson with a shaky first half, but it's a brand new ball game here in the second half, as we know. And Arizona will get the football to start that second half, as Neil Rackers kicks it away to start quarter number 3. And this will be a nice return here as Donnie Hands gets this out to the 38. Let's sneak over to SFL HQ for a game update with Cameron Irvine.
Thank you, Josh. A battle of winless teams tonight in Detroit as Charleston and Motor City are doing battle. Neither team has a turnover in this one, but both defenses are fighting hard. It is 10-10 between the Preds and the V8s. Back to you in Arizona.
Thank you, Cam. V8's always a fun team to watch. We got 2 fun teams to watch here. Jackson with a dross. One-step drop, but that's nearly intercepted again. Jeff Melanishin couldn't haul it in, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, that was just a little bit low there for Melanishin's liking. You know, we talk about how important that this game is. You take a look at that great pass stat right there, just what a struggle it's been for Jackson. We mentioned coming into this game for Arizona to really make a statement. If they were to win, this would be their first win against a team with a winning record. They've won against Charleston and Los Angeles. Still looking for that big W.
Moses on the draw will get it to the 40. Still a lot of chicken on the bone left for 3rd down. 3rd and 8.
Yeah, and you don't, like as you mentioned it, Josh, they need to complement their defense. They need to give them a chance to rest on the sidelines and get a good extended drive here. They've really not had one since the early stages of the second quarter.
Trips to Jackson's right, bottom of your screen. Bismarck right in the backfield. Jackson with time. Uncorks it, and that is caught. James Hands demonstrating some hands, keeping the drive alive for Arizona.
Yeah, and that's something that Arizona does really well. Coming into today's game, they were 38 conversion attempts, 21 conversions. So they have since padded those stats today. Just something they're very good at. They've got a really good playbook for 3rd down. And again, you see them going to Hands right there for the great reception. So these guys are well versed when it comes to 3rd down.
Magnificent catch by James Hands, his first of the game. Good for 19 yards. Handoff to Moses. Breaks a tackle. Cannot break from the grasp of Stephon Forge. 2nd and 9.
Got to give a call to this Denver front for being able to limit, for the most part, these Arizona backs. They just haven't been able to break anything yet.
Bismarck right in the backfield by his lonesome. Will he get the call at 2nd and 9? Short drop by Jackson. Escaping pressure. Now throwing.
Oh.
And intercepted again. Lucas DeVore picks it off, and DeVore has a lane as he gets out to the 36-yard line. Ashley Jackson's 2nd interception.
It's never good to really throw across your body, and that's exactly what happened with Ashley Jackson, rolling right and throwing back left. And there was just too much air on that ball. We've seen that a couple of times in this game today where her passes have just come out looking a little floaty, if you will, for lack of a better word. And again, a good job by the Nightwings there, as you mentioned, DeVore, right place, right time to just climb the ladder and pick that one off.
And now, Struthers, who completed 15 of 18 in the first half, goes to work here in quarter number 3. It's Ari Mills getting the call to start the drive. And started he does, gaining 5 yards to make it 2nd and 5.
And this is a statement drive for Denver right here, because if you can get some points, especially a touchdown, you're going to make it very hard on an Arizona offense that is just completely sputtering right now, kind of like me.
Career interception number 6 for Lucas DeVore. As Bailey O'Shaughnessy gets a call here to make it 3rd and 3. And on the tackle there.
And again, if you're that Arizona defense, man, you know the stakes are high, and you just want to get this Denver offense off the field. And really, to another point, off the field and on their side of the field. They've been in enemy territory most of the game to this point.
Nathaniel Diggs on the tackle, 3rd and 3. Mills has room on the right side and gets to midfield. And that keeps that plus territory streak for Denver alive with a fresh set of downs.
It's hard to win when the opposing team spends most of the time right on your right there in your neighborhood, if you will. And that's exactly what we're seeing. Denver has had no problem at all moving to the Arizona side of the field. And again, we continue to see that here in a pace that's been really hard for Arizona to keep up with.
Hand off to O'Shaughnessy. And to that point, Cameron, Denver's not done a great job of running the ball, but when they have, they're getting just enough. And when they need more yardage, they're getting it out of their passing game.
Yeah, they have responded really well to the times when it has looked as if that would be very insurmountable. You talk about the fighting for the short yardage when they needed it, and then coming up with big passing plays on 3rd down as well.
O'Shaughnessy barely back to the line of scrimmage. Nice defense that time by Iverson. Gamble stepping up to play the run, 3rd and long.
Yeah, a good job of swarming there by Iverson, Gamble. And you talk about Eddie Gage there and the significant injury that he had earlier in this game. It's been tough on this defense to really gain any kind of footing. Here could be their chance.
Struthers will throw on 3rd and long. Going over the middle. No completion to be had. Struthers upset he let that get away from him.
Yeah, obviously, frustrated with himself. He's had a really good day up to this point. And honestly, though, as frustrated as he may be not able to extend that drive, it wasn't in harm of any type of turnover or a pick six, so they're going to get a chance to pin him deep.
This is Toby Gowan. Fair catch called for and made at the 23 by TJ Punk. Now Arizona and Ashley Jackson will try to get something going here on their 2nd drive of the 3rd quarter.
And if there's a silver lining in all that, yeah, they got the takeaway, but they weren't able to capitalize on points. So if you're Ashley Jackson, just try to, shake that out of your mind and wipe the slate clean, come out playing sharp.
Empty backfield, 5 wideouts, Jackson under center. 4-man rush. Jackson with time. Throwing over the middle, nearly picked off again. Lucas DeVore read it the whole way. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, it should have been intercepted. Oh, my goodness. I mean, you don't get many more. DeVore just had a big interception. But, again, another opportunity there. And Arizona just got lucky. You don't have them that opportunistic to fall right into your hands as that one did.
Now 5 DBs on the field for Denver. Jackson with just one running back behind her. Play clock down to 10. 4-man rush. Jackson scrambling again under pressure. And again, throwing into a heavily covered area, this time looking for Will Todd. And look who it is, Lucas DeVore.
Yeah, I'm afraid that Ashley Jackson is going to see DeVore in her dreams tonight as much as he's been around that football. But again, here you go. Third down, this is where they've been able to thrive pretty well. If anything in this game that they've done good, it's been on third down attempts.
DJ Moses back in the game. Play action to Moses. Jackson sprinting out. That is tipped. And before the catch can be made, Andre Tucker played some aggressive defense, clearing out the receiver. And that'll bring up fourth down.
Yeah, you take a look at the last 10 pass attempts there for Ashley. It's been tough sledding tonight. It certainly has been. But honestly, give that credit to that Denver defense. I haven't seen a defense swarm the football like they have and disrupt the passing game to this point against Arizona in quite some time.
And Brenda Puff on the defensive line bringing pressure on that play as well. Props to the Denver defensive front. Punted away by Darren Bennett. And Dylan Lewis will get this out to his own 44.
Yeah, and all that Denver needs is 6 more yards, and they're right back in Arizona's territory. So, again, great field position. And, if you are Denver right here, you can kind of sense blood in the water, I would have to think.
Mills and O'Shaughnessy in the backfield. O'Shaughnessy gets the call. Out to the right side. Sean Moore getting a bit of a ride there. And so O'Shaughnessy's good for 4 yards, 2nd and 6.
We talked about Carl Weathers a little bit earlier, and just kind of another tip to the hat there for Apollo Creed. It almost feels like they've kind of got them on the ropes, don't they? That momentum is changing, or it's churning, rather, I should say. And it's important here that Arizona can rise up because Denver looking to make one big swing at it.
That is Chris Arthur in motion. Offset eye in the backfield. Mills gets a call. Mills dragging a defender. And Ari Mills with some inspired north-south running gets Denver another first down.
That just reminds you of an old school, I like to say a Mike Allstott or a Moose Johnson type of run that you would see back in the 80s or 90s of the NFL. Just kind of put your head down, turn forward with your shoulders and see what happens.
One more by Mills. Going to the sideline this time. It gets a few more. Denver has had 7 drives tonight. They've been in plus territory on all of them.
Impressive. I mean, that's really all that you can say. And again, though, even what would be more impressive is if they can put some more points up on the board. As many times they've been down here, just 20 points.
2nd and 6 now. Struthers staying under center. Handoff to Charles Stackhouse, the backup fullback. As that Denver backfield surely feeling some fatigue now, 3rd and 5.
Yeah, and a great job of David Tilley on the tackle there. And as you mentioned, this Arizona defense, they are tired. They're wore out. But again, we mentioned how many times that they have, Denver's been in their territory. This defense has did good and kind of slowed them down a little bit to just field goal attempts for the most part.
Logan Keel in motion. Goes to the slot. Mosley out wide. Struthers finds Mills. Mills with a nifty catch, stiff arm, and he's going to be just short of the first down, 4th and 1.
I would have guaranteed that they were going to convert there. I mean, it just looked like it, and the momentum that the big man Mills had running towards the sidelines. But give a great call to your Arizona Scorpions there for pushing him out of bounds short of the line.
And the offense will stay on the field for 4th and 1.
Let's see.
This would be a 52-yard field goal. Struthers says, let's go for it. And they hand off and they don't get it. That's Ace Ketchum, who got the call on 4th down, and he was stuffed by Sean Moore.
Yeah, Sean Moore, what what a great job. Again, knowing they need to stop, watch him just throw off that defender there. Oh, that was a thing of beauty. I mean, just doing a little bit of a shimmy and a shake there on that offensive line and getting in and making the big-time stop. I mean, that really was huge. Let's just put it, that way. That may have saved this game for Arizona.
A momentum swing that Arizona needed desperately. And Denver, instead of chancing the long field goal, tries to get to 1 yard. And now they hand off. That is Bismarck Wright. No, excuse me, that's number 30, Jay Ballmer. And Ballmer gets a nice gain on first down.
Yeah, I mean, you take a look at what this could do for Arizona if Arizona can really get things together here and start to move down the field, because all of a sudden, plenty of time left in this game. If you can get a touchdown here, I mean, that cuts it into one, and this is a whole different ballgame than what we were just speaking of.
Very slim margin as Moses drags Luis Quintana for a yard. Moses should be charged again for cab fare after that run and tackle. 3rd and 4.
Another huge third down coming up here. We've seen them operate a lot out of this third down set. But, yeah, probably none so as important as this.
Will Todd, the tight end. 3 wideouts. Jackson, 4-man rush, pressure coming. And James' hands cannot hang on as he gets drilled in the ribs by Jeff Melanishin.
Yeah, we've talked about Melanishin a couple of times tonight, coming up with some big-time hits. And, this is Jeff's first season here in Denver, coming over from Louisiana and, fitting in really well with that team. And gosh, that was important because Arizona had a good play design as well there, just not able to complete it.
McLongfellow will punt it away. We misidentified him earlier as Darren Bennett. Arizona actually has 2 punters on their roster. Well, this is a nice one. Gets inside the 20 and nowhere to go for Dylan Lewis. You see the third down numbers there, Cameron. That tells a bit of a story for you.
Yeah, it really does. The efficiency has been very good so far for Denver as well. And like we said, I think this is the first time in a long time that you're going to see them back so far in their territory, starting on the 17-yard line. That hasn't happened much tonight.
They started their second drive on the 16. This is their worst starting field position since then, as O'Shaughnessy goes up the middle for a gain of 4 yards to make it 2nd and 6. O'Shaughnessy stumbling a little bit as he heads back to the huddle.
Yeah, a little bit there. I noticed that as well when he got up. Hopefully it's nothing there. I mean, he's had a really solid night tonight, as we said, kind of waiting on O'Shaughnessy to break out the big run, and who knows, it could be right around the corner.
Could very well. Mills, the feature back at this point. He gets the call. Around the right side, breaking a tackle, gets to the 25. And it'll be 3rd and 3. And this has been the story. Denver staying on schedule just enough to get an explosive play on 3rd down from one of their big money receivers tonight. Either it's been Logan Keel or Jeremy Mosley.
Yeah, you could, like you said, you can almost expect it, kind of sense that they're going to go that direction. How can Arizona just stop it here?
But now only one receiver on the field. That's Chris Alter. Denver may be having other ideas as they hand off to Mills, and Mills is going to be short. Arizona gets the stop they needed, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, this defense, I'm telling you, J.R. Lawless with a great tackle. They have really stepped up when they've needed to. As we said, they have been their best offense this entire night. We talked about it during the half. They're going to have to really do the heavy lifting until this offense can finally get clicking. Hasn't happened yet, but this is really promising.
And Denver really handcuffed themselves with that personnel grouping. That looked like a run before they even called out the cadence.
Was so surprised that they done that. I expected a little bit more for them, or from them, I should say, on that particular series. But nevertheless, credit to Arizona for coming up, big time again. This defense, I can't say it enough of how important they've been in this game for them.
And Ari Mills had been the hot hand for Denver at that point. He and Bailey O'Shaughnessy both hovering around the 50-yard mark in terms of rushing, which is pretty good for 2 runners. But now Jackson has a chance to write a different ending here. And will throw it on 1st down. Under pressure, uncorks one. And again, that hard-hitting Denver defensive secondary, Jeff Melanishin that time, puts the hurt on TJ Punk.
Yeah, and your quarterback right now just kind of flinging it out there and hoping that somebody can come up with the reception. Another high pass there, and really the higher that those go, they really have to stretch out their forward and leaving them vulnerable right now. Kind of hard for these receivers to get on target with their quarterback.
Ballmer and Moses in the backfield. Jackson under pressure again, and again throws deep downfield, and again it's incomplete. This time intended for TJ Punk.
And again, a 3rd and 10, and I don't know what you have to come up with, what kind of play design, what kind of scheming you need to look at here, but, I would do something different than what we've seen on those last 2 plays. We've seen that play run quite a bit tonight. I think you want to start targeting the middle of the field.
Moses in the backfield by his lonesome, trips to Jackson's right. A plethora of DBs for Denver. Jackson to the right side this time, and that is caught. Mike Churchill out by the numbers, and Arizona keeps the drive alive.
Yeah, that was great. Exactly what they needed. Good response that time. They knew they needed to come up with the big conversion. And let's give credit to Ashley Jackson here. Put this one right on the money. As a matter of fact,
yes,
that one could have very well been contested, but instead Arizona comes down with the reception.
Jackson getting this Arizona offense to hum perhaps for the first time tonight. Empty backfield, throwing again, deflected, and that will fall incomplete. Didn't see who got a finger on it, but I think it was Luis Quintana.
Yeah, Quintana, we've called his name quite a bit tonight, haven't we, Josh? I mean, it's been all over the field, and you talk about defensive players of the game, you have to really keep him in contention.
Arizona's second play of the drive went 10 plays, 81 yards, culminating in that Mike Churchill touchdown. Since then, punt, interception, half, interception, 3 and out, 3 and out. Ashley Jackson already bucked the trend here. And here in the waning moments of the third quarter. Throwing over the middle again. TJ Punk, no chance to bring that in. Lucas DeVore has owned center field in that Denver secondary tonight.
Yeah, talk about defensive player of the games. How can you not mention that guy, right? I mean, he has been everywhere. Anytime that you see that football going through there, it seems like Lucas DeVore has been in the vicinity of it. If not making interceptions, swatting down passes, and then also making game-saving tackles at times.
Moses with a little bit of motion. Jackson, 4 wideouts, 4-man rush. Over the middle again. This time it's caught. James Hands has the first down inside the 30.
That route right there, I think that is more of what we need to see. For one, that will make Ashley Jackson, I think, more comfortable instead of just throwing darts downfield. Take a look at that little inside move by Hands, and that made a big difference, I think, in her confidence. We'll see what happens as we head to the fourth.
Bring me your 4s, your 12s, your 86s, your Carl Weatherses. Throw them into chat. We got ourselves a ball game. You're watching the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube.
The Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Welcome back to Fatality Field in Arizona. Josh Circle, Cameron Duty on the call. Top Kiefer Ramos-Lynn on stats. Thank you, gentlemen. Cameron Irvine producing. Ashley Jackson looking to dig her team out of a 20-7 hole here at home. With the winner of this game taking over first place in the SFL Central Division. And Jackson over the middle and is bailed out by a one-handed catch. Will Todd with the magic fingers.
Yeah, indeed, magic for sure. And for the first time in a long time in this game, we are seeing this Arizona offense with a little bit of not only chemistry, but a little bit of rhythm. And it's making a big difference. You see 8 of 25, but some of her best passes have came this series. And finally getting a little bit of confidence about them, and that's what they needed.
This Scorpion offense rallying at exactly the right time. Jackson again, throwing to the mid-zone, and that is caught. Just stopped short of the goal line. Is Will Todd, first and goal.
And finally, they've started doing something that, we talked about earlier in this game, which is attack the middle of the field, not so much the sides, and don't go too deep either. Just see what you can do in that little bit of cushion that the defense gives you. And right now, they're finding a nice little seam right there and exploiting it, and Denver is reeling for the first time in this game.
The ball just outside the 1 yard line, first and goal, just over 9 minutes to play here in regulation. Jackson pitches to Moses, has a block, he's in, touchdown Arizona.
Well, that just goes to show you that, in SFL football, man, it's never out of the question. And at times we have wanted to ride off Arizona in this game. So many opportunities. We talk about Denver being on Arizona's side of the field numerous times in this game today. But instead, the defense has kept them in it, and now the offense has found a nice rhythm here, a great job, nice rushing play right there. But really, it's all about that entire drive and just how impressive it was that they got on track. And this is going to change the complexion of this game entirely.
9-play, 67-yard drive coming just at the right time for Arizona. The extra point makes it a 6-point game. APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. Explore their library and find the perfect tracks for your project at apmmusic.com. And here comes, storming out of the end zone, Dylan Lewis, who gets his team out to the 24.
And I think what this is going to do, this is going to light a fire under this Arizona defense, who already, let's stop and give them credit. As we said, as many times as Denver has been in Arizona territory, just 20 points on the day. Their defense has bailed them out big time. They're going to have another stop here, though. Let's see if they can do it.
Bailed out, especially here in the second half. Punt, turnover on downs. They hand off to O'Shaughnessy. O'Shaughnessy short of the 30. Nice gain on first down. Make it 2nd and 4.
I think you got to be really careful right here, too. If you're Denver, you don't want to change your game plan up too much. Obviously, do what got you to this point, the lead here in the fourth quarter, a really dominant game thus far. But at the same time, you need to be aggressive. Just try to keep from committing the big mistake, the big turnover, something that puts Arizona right back in this thing.
Stackhouse paves the way for Mills. Mills has the first down. Scampers back to the other hash. And Ari Mills exuberant that he keeps the drive alive for the Nighthawks.
Definitely, and I think that is something that it's important for them to keep going. This running game, this rushing attack that they've had such a success with in this game thus far, it'll eat clock up, and at the same time, it'll keep Arizona off the field.
Mills, maybe a yard, as he's blown up by Nathaniel Diggs, the fifth-year linebacker for the Scorpions. Just over 8 minutes here remaining in regulation.
And you can tell there's a fever pitch about this game that it didn't have just a few minutes ago. Denver knowing they need to extend the drive. Arizona feeling like if they can get off the field here and get the offense back out there, it could be something special.
Indeed it could. Stackhouse back in the game at fullback. O'Shaughnessy flaring out. Struthers is going to fire it and thread the needle to Jeremy Mosley. You got to be kidding.
No, that was beautiful right there. One of the best receptions I have seen all season long. Again, Struthers has had such a nice day. And look at that. You cannot thread the needle any better than that. Nice hands, of course, by Mosley, doing a good job going over 100 yards on the day. And they needed that just at the right time.
Denver, a field goal would make this a 9-point game. Mills burrowing, and is going to get stopped for a loss one of the few times today. Sean Moore getting it done, the 7th-year inside linebacker.
Yeah, and we've called his name quite a few times in this. He's been very responsible for stopping a lot of drives that Denver has been looking very sharp on. Again, this side of the field here, what will Denver do? Excuse me.
Denver with over 100 yards on the ground. Struthers has been terrific as well. O'Shaughnessy inside the 40 this time, and rolling off of the shoulders of backup strong safety Juwan Armour. And now it's going to be a big 3rd and long.
Yeah, huge 3rd and long at this point. If you are Denver, you need to be I think you got to look to the air. I don't think you need to play it safe and just go to the ground game. I'm not sure on that, especially the way that this Arizona defense is kind of stepping up here.
Denver outside of field goal range at this juncture. Struthers, deep drop over the middle, deflected and incomplete. Iverson Gamble getting the fingertips on it, and Denver will punt it away.
Wow. And all of a sudden, you're starting to feel that momentum change. Unfortunately for Denver, not in a good enough position to attempt a field goal. So now you're going to hope that your punter can kind of coffin kick this thing here and pin them deep, because Arizona with a new lease on life.
Struthers with only 2 completions here in the second half. And now Toby Gowan will punt it and try to pin Arizona deep, something they've not been able to do so far. And that punt will go out of bounds around the Arizona 10-yard line.
So they're going to have about, 90 yards or so to have to move here. Plenty of time to do it, 89 yards to be exact. But boy, I tell you what, if you are Ashley Jackson, you got to be happy to still be in this game here, and she can really help pull off a big comeback here if they can work this out right.
The clock very much Arizona's friend at this point. 6:18 remaining in regulation. A touchdown and an extra point will win it for the Scorpions. But first, Jackson over the middle, deflected. Will Todd could not keep his hands on it. And guess who it is? Lucas DeVore holding court once again in the Denver secondary.
I think we need to check and make sure that they're not, 3 or 4 DeVores out there. As speedy as he's been on the field, as I said, he's been everywhere. Another great job by Lucas DeVore.
There might be a testing notice in DeVore's locker when he gets back to the locker room after tonight's game. Jackson will throw again here. Going over the middle again, and Todd makes the catch this time. And Arizona starting to march here with 6 minutes left.
Well, Will Todd is coming up crucial in this fourth quarter. We've seen him all of a sudden become Ashley Jackson's go-to target. And one of the things that we said is different is the fact that, again, attacking the middle of the football field, which is where Denver has been kind of their softest. You see that they're leaving this nice open pocket as they're playing a lot of man, and it's leaving this nice window for Ashley Jackson to throw into. And so, yeah, the tempo and the pace, it's changing as well as the momentum.
And if you're covering Will Todd with a linebacker, you are in trouble 10 times out of 10. Jackson on the draw to Moses. Moses getting skinny. He's going to get 4 yards that time as we approach 5.5 minutes here in regulation.
And again, clock, not really a factor. Plenty of time. Just use it to your advantage right now. Don't let the moment become too big for you. Let's mention that as well. Just one play at a time right here.
Adam Wise in SFL chat, if the SFL starts drug testing, then I'm out. Way to tell on yourself, Adam. That is Bismarck Wright getting his team into 3rd and 3. And we are all high in life here in this SFL broadcast booth. Josh Zirkle, camera duty. So glad to be bringing you this game. SFL Season 22. Denver Nightwings in Arizona, first place in the Central Division on the line. Todd in motion. To the top of your screen. Jackson, 4-man rush. Over the middle again, and again deflected. This time it's Xavier Rowe, who I think got first dibs on it. Mike Churchill, the intended receiver. And that's going to bring up 4th and 3. Do you go for it here, Cam?
I kind of feel like you do. They're going to punt, obviously, and hope that their defense can get the big stop. But when you're inside of 5 minutes, you don't know if you're going to get the football back again. I think it was a time to be aggressive.
Longfellow punting away. Fielded at the 26. And Dylan Lewis is going to be brought down at the 29. Let's sneak over to SFL HQ for a game update with Cameron Irvine.
Thank you, Josh. The rookie got it done. King Jackson in the final stages off of a beautiful drive in the fourth quarter. Hits Azami Mihata in the back of the end zone. Motor City beats Charleston 17-13 to send last season's playoff team, the Charleston Predators, to 0-4. Back to you in Phoenix.
Thank you, Cam. Congrats to King Jackson and the Motor City V8s. Denver looking to close out business here as Bailey O'Shaughnessy gets a paltry, you might say, Cameron, 3 yards, second and 7.
Where have we heard that before tonight?
Where might have been in our pregame broadcast meeting.
That was one for the ages for sure. But yeah, absolutely. A meager 3 yards there. And again, makes you just wonder, I think, about that call not going for it on 4th down. I'm still wondering about that.
Mosley in motion. R.E. Mills getting the call. Mills has the first down here in this instance. Cameron, of course, Mills 4th and 1. You watch him run. And look, if you watched him run over the course of the game, you got to think 1 yard was in his wheelhouse, but ultimately it wasn't him. It was Ace Ketchum that handled the ball. And I think that's where I'm hung up more than anything, more than the decision, more than the personnel.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you're right about that. You thought that was just kind of a shoe-in play there, but no, I guess that's why they play the game.
O'Shaughnessy stopped at the line of scrimmage. That's a great stop there by Nathaniel Diggs.
It is.
3.5 minutes. And if Arizona wants the ball back, they're going to have to make a move here soon.
That's what I was going to say. They need a handful more of plays like that if they want to get a chance at this ball game before it's over.
Only one back in the backfield here. Twin tight ends to Struthers right. Short drop. He's going to throw. No, he's going to get sacked. Down he goes. A huge sack for Arizona. Dede sacks his second of the game.
That's exactly right. The second half of the game, more importantly, it comes at the most opportune time. We haven't seen them in the backfield a whole lot today on Struthers, but they get there when it matters. Take a look at that, and that's just pure grit and determination by Sachs. Just swim move there to get over the top of the defender there, and it was just off to the races after that.
You see the numbers there for Dede Sachs. It came at just the right time. And now this Arizona front's going to pin its ears back on 3rd and 13. 6 DBs for Arizona. 4-man rush. Struthers throwing. And that is caught. Mosley making a huge catch as Denver converts 3rd and 13.
Stretching out there and knowing that he was going to get completely leveled. But that's what you do. Big game situation, and they needed that. That is going to set Arizona back big time, I think, and because that was a huge play.
And once again, Denver in Arizona territory. You see the numbers there on 3rd down and total yards. Denver has been able to march up and down the field with some efficiency. And this is Ketchum as we're going to hit the 2-minute warning. The Night Wings looking to sneak out of Fatality Field, deliver a fatality of their own. You're watching the SFL presented by APM Music. On YouTube, Josh Zirkle, camera duty in the booth. Top Keeper Ramos Lynn on stats. Thank you, gentlemen. Cameron Irvine producing. First place in the Central Division on the line. And Denver trying to just run out clock. And Arizona will call a first timeout.
Yeah, and then this is the game that they kind of get you in now, starting to burn those timeouts. Of course, this is even assuming that you can continue to get the stops that you need here in hopes of having any time left on the clock. But right now, they got to figure out how to stop this rushing attack that's been able to provide them with some big runs when it's mattered.
Play clock down to 5. Struthers staying under center. Mills gets a call. And Arizona will burn their second timeout. And the last meeting between these two teams was last season, season 21. And Arizona held serve at home with a 65-28 drubbing of these very same Denver Night Wings. DJ Moses ran for, I kid you not, 377 yards. And as Arizona makes a fair catch on the 12 with a minute 45, get your popcorn ready, because here comes AJ Stryker trying to put one more.
Truly what a difference a year makes in the complexity of this game and just how everything has changed. You talked about that drubbing last year. Now, look at this. We're looking at maybe, an 88-yard drive to go ahead in this game if it happens. Well, that will be something.
Jackson, short drop. That is knocked away, incomplete, intended for Hands. That is James Hands. James wearing number 12, Donnie number 11. Stephon Forge on the scene to help break it up. 1:42 left to play.
An interesting point to mention, they found success in the middle of the field, and those seams not going to be able to exploit that a lot with the short amount of time on the clock, plus only one timeout.
Short drop. And again, that looked like the defender may have gotten there a little earlier. That's Xavier Rowe the third.
Yeah, we've seen some PI calls today, and it kind of looked like that could have been one as well. Probably best that did fall to the ground. You don't want to have to call a timeout for a play such as that.
3rd and 10, Jackson. Back under center. DJ Moses in the backfield, 4 wideouts. 6 DBs for Denver. 4-man rush. Jackson to the sideline. That is caught. TJ Punk cannot get out of bounds, and Arizona forced to use their last timeout.
Yeah, let's give a call to Denver right there, knowing awareness on the football field, knowing that Punk was going to try to scramble to the sidelines, and they just stopped it. Great pursuit to force them to use their final timeout.
Interesting stat there for Jackson, looking at the breakup on the field. The right side has been effective. And as you said, short and medium middle has been there as well. Here comes the blitz. Jackson, that is caught by Will Todd, and they're going to hurry up. Jackson under center. Throwing to the right side this time. That is over the head of the receiver. It'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, this really is interesting. A minute 20 left, no timeouts. Any completion that they get, if they can't get out of bounds, they're going to have to hurry just like that, run up and snap it. And we're going to really see what kind of 2-minute offense they have here.
Arizona approaching midfield. 80 seconds remaining. They need a touchdown. A field goal does them no good. Jackson to the left this time. That is caught. Will Todd. He had the orange sleeves and sure hands.
Yeah.
Makes a completion.
Let's give a call to Nick Kindler there, who good awareness again, and literally acting as a roadblock to make sure that Todd couldn't get to the out-of-bounds line.
Arizona now in plus territory. Clock ticking away. 53 seconds remaining. They decide to run it here. DJ Moses is going to get 5 yards. That's a huge surprise, and they line back up.
A big surprise trying to catch them off guard, but it certainly didn't work, and that's going to be...
Jackson over the middle this time. That is caught. TJ Punk, and they line it up again at the 31 this time. Jackson again. That is caught. James Hands, 2nd and 3. Clock ticking away. 25 seconds remaining. Pass rush for Denver starting to wear out. Moses on the screen inside the 20, now 17 seconds.
Oh, man. Same formation.
Marching down the field. Jackson over the middle this time, and it's caught. Down at the 2, they need to hurry up. 6 seconds remaining. Well, she's spiking. 4 seconds. 3, snap the ball. 2 seconds remaining. Jackson's going to get one play here to win the game.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I mean, how about that? You're not sitting here, totally not meaning to talk over top of you, Josh, but, I mean, I'm sitting here thinking you got to snap it if you want a chance at this. It all hangs in the balance here.
Will Todd has 90 yards. He leads the team in receiving. Can Ashley Jackson find him or someone else here? That's zeros. Throw it to the end zone. Touchdown! Ashley Jackson complete to Mike Churchill for his 2nd touchdown of the game, and the extra point will win it.
Oh my goodness, you talk about an extra point for the ages. Take a look at Churchill. Again, the great route, again, middle of the field. Once they figured out that was working for them, they used it masterfully, even in that 2-minute drive, and it all comes down to this, Josh.
The extra point will decide the game. The kick is up. It is good.
Oh my
and
goodness.
Arizona escapes at home, 21-20.
I have never.
Have you ever, camera duty,
never.
in your life,
I
seen
don't even
anything like that?
I don't even know what to say, Josh. I'm at a loss of words, my friend. That was a game for the ages. I mean, Arizona down in this game the entire time. Denver in the driver's seat. Let's give a call to the Arizona defense for coming up time and time again, keeping Denver. Look at that, scoreless the second half. That was huge. They even beat them on time of possession. Denver had this thing, for all intents and purposes, wrapped up. But sheer will and determination by Arizona. They didn't give up at all. They kept fighting. They kept grinding, kept chipping away. 14 important points in that fourth quarter. And Ashley Jackson, when it counted, forget the stats, throw out the interceptions. When it came time to show up and show out, boy, did she ever. And this entire team rallied and responded. I've never seen a comeback like this. I'm really glad I had the opportunity to, my friend. That was I got to give her for that last drive. She's my player of the game. That was phenomenal.
JT Delaney does the honors with the game-winning extra point. With 14 points in the fourth quarter, Ashley Jackson, with career touchdown pass number 249, wills her team, along with a great Arizona defense, past the Denver Nightwings 21-20 year final. For Tom Kiefer, Ramos Lynn, Cameron Duty, I'm Josh Circle. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, we'll see you on the internet. Good night from Arizona.